I've said before, folks, I'm not really a political animal. And what I'm going to talk about now is the lead up to it. A couple of things I might get wrong. I've heard bits in passing the last 2 days. I've not really took them all in. Are they saying, I think they might be saying, this government, that they're looking at taking away some disability payments. They're looking at getting some people off disability. They're looking at maybe trimming or looking at this, is it PIP payments and all various things like that. Now, I might have it slightly wrong, but that doesn't matter. That's because that's not what I'm going to talk to you about. What I also heard, and I think it's off this Wes Streeting, I think it was, and it's about all the things I've just mentioned. I think what he said is we've got too many people on disability and on disability with mental health and claiming mental health. And I thought, at pigging last, somebody's realised, hopefully, just hopefully, somebody's going to do something about it. Now, before I go any further, let me say to you folks, I know there's people out there have got issues with mental health, male and female. I know all of that. I know that, I appreciate that, I get that. And for anybody that has real, and I stress the word real problems, I've got nothing but sympathy for you. But I do think, folks, this is like a boat or a ship that's close to going under because everybody's jumping onto it. And I mean everybody. Let me give you a little story. I'm out with a good friend of mine a couple of weeks ago. He'll watch this, so I should be embarrassed, but I'm not because it's just weird. I'm not going to mention any names, I'm not going to embarrass the fella. And we've been out for an hour or two, and he said, he don't call me Grumpy, although he knows about the channel. He's one of the few that does. He called me Dave. "You all right, Dave? How's your mental health, lad?" So what do you mean? How's your mental health? I just thought I'd ask. I said, I don't have mental health. I said, it's all right. I'm all right. Don't worry about me. And I just thought, what a stupid question. You know, do people go out with one another and say, how's your mental health? Oh, I hope he's all right because mine's not good. And I think most of these people want you to say, well, how's your mental health and all that? I mean, and mental health is like a thing now. It's de rigueur. Hey, where did I get that from? It's good to have mental health issues because every bugger's got them. They wear it like a badge of honour. And I'm thinking, what's it all about? I'm just absolutely sick and tired about people going on and on and on about mental health. I do appreciate many people kill themselves, commit suicide. I do appreciate it happens more with men. And I do realise men bottle things up. It's a manly thing. I get all of that. But for all the few that have got these issues, it isn't thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Yet there's thousands and thousands and thousands screaming out that they've got mental health. Because as I say, it's the right thing to do now because everyone's jumped on that ship. I mean, any soap you watch, whatever, if you've been affected by this storyline, give this number a ring. I bet they're ringing off the hook because people love to be affected. And I think, well, if you're affected by the storyline, number one, why don't you just think to yourself, it's just a soap opera, it means nothing. It's all made up. All the things happen in real life. Or number two, if it's going to affect you, why pigging watch it to start with? You see, the thing is, folks, to my eyes, and I might be wrong here, but I've been around for a good few years and I think I've got half a brain. The thing is, in this world at the moment, it's not the easiest place to live. You know, there's lots of wars, there's lots of hatred, there's lots of racism and all of those things. In this country, we don't have things as bad as many other countries. You know, we're not born in war. We've not got wars going on now in this country. You know, we've got more money than most, although it's a struggle. Virtually all of us can put food on the table. Yes, there's some people that are homeless, but it's only a small minority. Times are hard, you know. The economy's not great. There are wars around us. There are things happening in the world that are upsetting. You know, things aren't great at the moment. Of course they're not. But at the end of the day, my thing is there's always somebody worse off. And there is. And the people that are worse off, they're the ones that should have the mental health issues and whatever else, you know. But often they're not. Often they're stronger than the ones that are spouting mental health issues. I mean, I seen something on the TV earlier today. Was it the wife of Chris Hoy? She's having a chat. It's a pity she picked Lorraine to do it with, but she's having a chat. And what's she got? She got MS, and he's got cancer. He might have a year or two to live. I don't know how she's going on. They've got 2 or 3 young kids, and both parents aren't in a good way. But on the back of it all, they're trying to live the best lives they can for as long as they've got left with the children to make the children's life better. They're not harping on and complaining and moaning. Probably these times during the course of the day or night or whatever, they get tearful, they get upset, they may lie in bed and think, why me, and whatever. And I get that 100%. But when I think I'm having a bad day or I've got a problem and an issue, and don't get me wrong, folks, I get them. I've said it before. I've had more issues the last 10 or 12 years than many people that have been listening to me now have had. But I just get over them because you've got to. And really, I talk to myself. I mean, I don't talk to myself. I'm not stupid. But I don't need to sit with a psychiatrist because I can just think about things and think this and think that and get... And I know not everyone can do that. I'm very lucky. But still, I won't go and put on anybody or mind on anybody or spout mental health and whatever else if I can get over things. Or if I think there's people out there that are in a much worse opposition than me. Don't get me wrong, if I was bad enough that I was looking at ending it all, I honestly believe for the sake of others in my family, I'd go and do something about it. You know, and those people, they've got mental health issues and they need help by all means. By all means. But we're a society at this moment in time that constantly go on about mental health. We have TV shows, men's mental health, men don't say this, men don't say that. Women that abuse, did this, did that, they don't speak out, they're afraid. And look, there's loads of folk out there with problems, I get it. But there's nowhere near as many as complain about having mental health issues. It's just the thing to do now. I'll bet you if you get 12 or 14 people together and 4 or 5 of them don't have mental health issues of any kind, they'll feel out of place. So it's easier to have mental health issues to say, oh, yeah, I'm not right, I don't feel good, or I've got this problem or that. And I just think to myself, give it a pigging rest. Look around and think to yourself, who out there is worse off than me? And you'll find some that are worse off. You'll find some that are very much worse off. You'll find some that have been dealt horrible cards. You'll find some in other countries that are dying, that are oppressed. They're being locked up for no reason, locked up for years and years on end. They're being raped on a daily basis. They're being killed for no reason other than they're just born at the wrong place at the wrong time. There'll be people out there that have got no food, that haven't ate well for days and days and days. They might have no water. We don't know how lucky we are. We don't in this country, yet every bugger is focusing on mental health. Let's all pull our socks up, get over ourselves and start living our lives and think it could be worse. And it could. There's loads and loads of examples out there of things that could be worse. Look at Doddy Way. Look at old Rob Burrow and what he's been through and whatever else. Look at his wife that's left now with them 3 kiddies. They're the ones that should have problems with mental health and being looked at on a daily basis. They're the ones, not us. How's your mental health? I think it was Streeting that says it. He's right. Too many people are playing the mental health card and too many people are trying to earn an easy living on the back of it, and it's just wrong. It really is wrong, because there's going to be facilities overrun and they're not going to be able to look after those that really need the help. And that's where the problem's going to lie. There's going to be people slipping through the cracks who have gone for help and can't get that help they need because everybody's trying to beat the door down with these mental health issues that really, if they thought about it for a while and sat in a dark and a quiet room for an hour or two, could get themselves over the problems that they've got, because all they are really is just day-to-day problems. We've all got them. Get on with it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my thoughts.